Hello there, everyone. My name is Crazy Caleb, and continuing on with our not modded modules, today we're going to be taking a look at Not the Screw. Not the Screw is made by Quinn West, so this is the way that the module looks. And the difference that you can tell between the screw and not the screw is the fact that immediately right off the bat, um, this little indicator up in the top left would already state 1 for screw, considering that's the stage counter. However, this for not the screw is going to be a question mark, so that's the way that we can determine this module. Um, and another thing we must note is that potentially this screw could actually not be screwed into the first position. It's always screwed into the first position for the screw. However, it could be in the third position, for example, here. Um, but the best way to do it is tell it by the question mark up top. So let's take a look here, and let's figure out what we need to do because this module is a little bit trickier than the screw. So what we're going to do is we're going to be going through this little maze right here, as I would call it, and we're going to be getting to a beginning location and an ending location. But we have to go through a couple things here. So what we need to do is we need to figure out where we currently are and where we currently need to get. So your current row is marked by the position of the A button. So let's figure that out here. So we're going to take a look at the buttons up top here. And whatever position your A button is, that's going to be your row. The A button is in the 4th position from left to right, so that's going to be in the 4th row. So it's going to be in this row some way, shape, or form. But let's figure out what column we're going to be at here. And we're going to use if B is to the left of both C and D, you are in the left 2 columns. If B is between C and D, you're in the middle 2, and B is right of C and D, you are in the right 2 columns. So taking a look here, Bravo is to the left of C and D, so we're going to be looking at the left 2 columns here. So we're going to be either here or here. And now, if C is left of D, you are in an odd column. If C is right of D, you are in an even column. So this is where you are currently going to be starting at, and we're going to figure out what our ending position is going to be at later on. So C is indeed left of D, so we're going to be in the odd column. So that is going to correspond to the 1, whereas 2 would correspond to the even. So we're going to be right here in this little bottom left corner. So now, the ending positions column is going to be indicated by the position of the red hole. The red hole is in the 5th position, so we're going to be looking at the 5th column here. So we're going to be looking at one of these guys here. And the row is indicated by the position of the green among the non-red holes. So what this means is that of the non-red holes, because we're going to skip this one if we ever happen to having to count over it, what it's going to be is we're going to look at 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 is going to be right here for the green. Note that this counting is in reading order, not in any clockwise fashion. That's not normal. So the green is in the 4th position, so that means it is in row 4. So this is our beginning location down in the bottom left, and this is our ending location, that 1 right here. So now what we need to do is we need to traverse through a series of edges, but we have to make sure that we travel through every color, every letter, and every number at least one time. You may not travel through previously traveled edges, and you may not land on the ending position without completing all the previously mentioned requirements. So that's what makes this module a little bit tricky. Now, you might think, like, hey, I could just go right here, through here, just straight across right here. However, that is not what we're asking to do. So what we need to do is we actually need to plan out a path to go through each color. So we're going to screw in to one of these colors to traverse through an edge. For example, if we screw into green and we press alpha, that'll take us over to right here. So we could potentially use that to our advantage, and we're going to note down what we go through, and we're going to plan this out. So we could potentially go up to the green alpha here. So we could potentially go up here, and what we're going to do is we're going to screw into the green hole. We're going to press alpha, and we're going to land on a 2. So we'll mark this as green, alpha, and 2 to mark down what we're going to keep track of and what we've already gone through so far. It's a good way to help us keep track to make sure that we don't forget anything along the lines, and just helps us work out. So next what we can do is we can actually go through this little white button here. It looks like it's a silver, but it's white, so just trust me on that. So we could go through white alpha, and that'll take us to 1. We've already done alpha, but we can take us to white, and that'll take us to a 1 right here. That little middle 1 is what we need to pay attention to. Next up, what we can do is, let's look around here. We could potentially go up to magenta bravo, and then that would take us to 3. So magenta bravo, and that would take us to the number 3. Okay, and what we could do is a lot of options are available to us right now. Then we could go. We've already gone through all the colors surrounding us here, so it's better off that we go towards something that we need to get. So we're currently missing red, blue, and yellow for the colors that we need to go to. The colors are by far the trickiest things to get. That's in my opinion anyways. So let's look around here. So let's look. So perhaps our best solution would be go to this 2, we get the blue, and then we perhaps go through red over here, red at this little alpha right here. And then we find green. No, perhaps a better solution would be to just simply go around here some way, shape, or form, and make our life simpler. So let's figure this out. So I do believe that magenta Charlie is what we're going to be looking for here. We're going to press magenta Charlie. So magenta Charlie, we're going to cover Charlie. We're not going to cover 4 just yet. I believe we're going to wrap around to here. So next up, we can go to yellow. We can go through yellow Charlie. So we can go through yellow, cover that guy right there. So we're going to go up here. Next up, we can go through yellow alpha. Nothing we haven't already done. We can't go left because that would actually screw us over because we've already been to these positions before. So we actually cannot go through those guys. Next up, or actually no, it's just specifically stating the travel edge. Still, it's better to just play it safe and not actually go back to these guys, so you don't have to remember what traveled edges you've gone through and so on and so forth. It just makes your life easier. So our next best solution would probably be going to this yellow alpha. Right here. So we've already pressed all of those guys. We've gone to 1 so far. Now we can go down to red. However, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we go through blue too. So we have to make sure that we do that. And we can also cover yellow right here as well. We can also cover the delta that we need to get for the letters that we need to press. So we can do yellow delta over to this 2 right here. We can go down to white alpha, get the 3. We can go to blue Charlie. Blue Charlie would take us. We'll get the Charlie that we need. We'll get the blue that we need. And then what we can do there is what do we get? So we need to find out how we can get the red somehow. That's what we're left with here. So we can get the 4 from this position right here. However, now what we need to do is we need to plan a solution to get us to a red. So actually, you might want to do a little bit of backtracking. So hold on a second. So actually, yes, we want to take a little bit of backtrack. We want to go to this magenta alpha up here, or excuse me, the red alpha. We want to press down here. Then we want to go to this yellow delta. We get the 4, we get the yellow, we get the delta. We go down to magenta delta, and we get the blue that we need to, and then we loop back around like this. And that's the way that we can solve this module. Or we can actually just, no, we need to go to the right here. So this is the path that we have to take, and this is what I mean by it can be a little bit tricky to find all of the colors, the letters, and the numbers that you need to get, but it is indeed possible. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start down here. So we're going to screw into green to the edge that we want to go to. We're going to click alpha, and it gives us the number that we're currently on to help us better visualize where we're at. Next up, we're going to go to, we're going to screw into white. We're going to press alpha. Next up, we're going to go into magenta. We're going to press bravo. We're currently at 3. That's perfect. We're going to be staying in magenta. We're going to press Charlie. Okay. We're going to go to yellow. We're going to press Charlie. We're going to go to yellow. We're going to press alpha. We're in yellow currently. All right. Next up, we're going to go to red. We're going to press alpha. We're going to press. We're going to go into yellow, and we're going to press the delta. We're going to go into magenta, and we're going to press the delta. We're going to go to blue now, the blue that we need for screwing that last color in, and we're going to press Charlie. Then we're going to go to magenta. We're going to press bravo, and we're going to press. We're going to go into green. We're going to press alpha to solve the module because that is our ending position. And just like that is a solved module. Let's take a look at one final example, and hopefully that we can get a simpler example because that took quite a bit to get through every single color. I'd say that colors are probably the trickiest to get because there's 6 of them, and letters and numbers kind of come in hand later on. They're really not that hard to get through. It really comes down to the colors that you need to find. So let's take a look at one final example. This module itself is really straightforward, but sometimes it can take a little bit of planning to do. I would advise you not to do this as an interactive, but rather a large submission. So just be careful with that. So let's pop up one final example here. And let's go through the rules again. It's a lot of reading, but trust me, it's not too bad. So let's take a look at what we have here. So our current position for alpha is going to be in row 4, so we're going to be in this row somehow, some way, some form. Now taking a look where Bravo is at, Bravo is in between Delta and Charlie. So what does this mean? So if Bravo is in between Charlie and Delta, you are in the middle 2 columns. So we're going to be in these guys right here, 3 and 4. If Charlie is left of Delta, no, Charlie is right of Delta. So that means that if Charlie is right of Delta, you are in an even column. So this is where we're currently going to be at, because this is column 4, which is an even column. So this is going to be our starting position down here. Next up, the ending positions column is indicated by the position of the red hole. The red hole is currently in position 3 right here. So it's going to be in column 3 some way, shape, or form. And lastly, the row is indicated by the position of the green among the non-red holes. So green is the first among the non-red holes, so it's going to be in row 1. Now, rows, if I did mention this before, rows count from 1, 2, 3, 4, top to bottom, and columns count from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. So this is what we're going to be looking at here. This is going to be our starting position down at this little 2, and our ending position is going to be at the 3. So let's figure out what we need to do. So why don't we start off with figuring out a way how we can get... Probably our best bet is because of all the blues facing away from us. We probably should go through this blue Charlie and over to this 1 here. So we're going to go blue Charlie, and that'll give us a 1. We're going to go over here. Let's go, perhaps let's go magenta Bravo. Let's go magenta Bravo, and that'll take us to 4. That's good stuff so far. Then let's go, let's go yellow Bravo, perhaps? No, I need to figure out a way how to get to white. That's the key that I'm going for here. Perhaps we can actually go up here, to these guys up here. But my other goal should be focusing on getting some of the other colors here. So we need to figure out magenta. We need to figure out yellow, which you can actually do right here. Going down here, we need to figure out green. We need to figure out, what's the last color that we're missing? We need to figure out red in some way, shape, or form. So we might actually have to take a little bit of a detour in order to get over to red. It might take a little bit longer, but if there's a will, there's a way. So who knows? That actually might be better to go off right here because we can actually get some of these colors easier. So let's actually follow red alpha. So we'll get red alpha, and that'll take us to 3. That'll actually give us a lot more options that we need to do. We've already gone through most of these colors. We're looking for what we're missing right now is delta, 2, and 3 different colors. So we can pick up delta and white right over here. So let's go down here. So we're going to go to magenta alpha, and it's going to take us to 4. We already have all of those guys done. Now let's go down from this 4 right here to white delta, and that's going to be a 1. We already have that 1 present from the numbers beforehand. So let's take a look. So we're currently right here. We can take yellow here, and that'll take us over to 3 right here. We already have all of our letters present. All we're looking for is a 2, which we can actually go up right to here to get ourselves there. So we've done yellow, we've done all the letters. We're gonna get 2. So the one that we're going to be missing, the one that we need to go through, is we need to figure out how to get through green, which we can actually just do right up here, so we can follow these guys all the way to get to our ending position. And just like that, we've gone through all of the colors that we need to get through. So we've gone through blue at least once, we've gone through magenta, red, white, yellow, green, and we've gone through all of the letters, and we've gone through all of the numbers. So we started at this little 2 down here. We went left, so we're gonna screw into blue, and we're gonna press Charlie. All right, so we're going to be at this 1 right now. So we're going to press magenta. We're going to go screw into magenta, and we're going to press Bravo up to the 4 here. We're going to go screw into red. We're going to press Alpha. Get over to this 3. Magenta over to, we're going to press Alpha. Then we're going to do white. Screw in there. We're going to press Delta. Then we're going to do yellow. Press Alpha. White Charlie, then white Delta, then magenta Charlie, then magenta Alpha, then the green Charlie, which is the last color that we needed, and lastly magenta and Bravo. And just like that, the module's done, and you're good to go. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.